Welcome to day 52 of Tohu Bohu meditation. And we have started learning about emotional alchemy, which is um, which is a topic which is really good to me, close to my heart. And like I mentioned, as I start teaching, um, the test comes for us to the teacher. We have to pass the test. So mm, today I want to continue with you guys, okay? As we are coming closer to the end of the year, and I'm not sure how the year has been for you all, but for me and Sam, it has been really um, strengthening. It's been really challenging. So we have built up a lot of strength. We have gained a lot of wisdom, insights to life, how to deal with life. Uh, so, and God has kept us safe and sound, given us the courage, strength to, um, look at the giants like Joshua and Caleb. That kind of strength has come to us, and no regret for whatsoever. So we are in the process of alchemizing emotions. Okay, you might be a great person. You might have PhD credibility. You might have tons of money. You might be an influencer. You could have bungalows. You could have anything you want. But if there is no emotional intelligence, if you really don't know how to manage your emotions, everything comes down. Everything that we have really built up really comes down. So it's one of the very, very, very important topic. I myself am learning as I'm teaching you guys, and um, if we don't know how to process our emotions, potentially we might be destroying our relationship, which has been built over a period of time. We might be destroying credibilities, um, and it's we always say that it's not that we want to change the world, okay? When Jesus died 2000 years ago, he did not put any conditions. Marina or Mandy or Chitra, look, I'm going to give my whole life. Why I should live a horrible death? Because I want you to be uh, I want you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these things. Look, I'm giving my life. You better behave. You better follow these rules and regulations. He never, you know, um, he never said like that, right? So even if you see, I didn't prepare like that, but I'm just as I'm talking, even at the cross, he had all the reasons. He, being a pure, holy man, he had all the reasons to complain about the whole world. What did he do in the last 3.5 years? Wherever he went, he saved the sinners, healed the sick, raised the dead, and he taught, he prophesied, was a teacher, he was a prophet. What he did not do, right? Um, but what the world gave back to him, what he never complained. Yes. um, Always aligning himself to the will of the Father, right? And always sticking to the purpose for which he came, always sticking to the time. He, even when Mary said, his mother said that change the water into wine, he said, woman, my time has not come. He was very, he was about, he was all about doing things in time, being spirit led, always aligning with the purpose, aligning his will with the Father's will. And in the midst of so many things, like people complain, many times people try to kill, and suddenly he disappeared from the crowd. So many times people accused. The sinners were following, the sinners were very grateful. um, they broke the alabaster on his feet. They loved him so much. But the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the teachers, the qualified ones, the credible ones, who who, they out of jealousy, the ones who did not have their identity, they were the ones, identity known, they were the ones who really accused him of so many things. And even at the cross, he is really praying that the will of the he his will be aligned to the will of the Father. Father, if it is your will, take this cup away from me. And even on the cross, like people, he says that, the thieves, today you will be in the paradise, right? And he said that, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. If it was us, we would have really said, oh my goodness, I should have never come to this world, such sinners, such ungrateful people. And they look at so many miracles I did, but there were people, the same people who praised me, are the same people who cursing, same people who beat me, same people who put me on the cross. And what is wrong with this world? Today's world, we can always ask, what the heck is wrong in this world? All of us have been through now. We've done so many things, so many good things for people, but at the end of it, people just forget everything, and then sometimes they really want to crucify us, right? So he, I do believe he alchemized his emotions, whether alchemized his emotions, and he channeled it properly, right? So that's the reason he was not victimized. He did not become sad, and he was not angry, or he knew very solid. He was like so strong in his identity. Even to Pontius Pilate, he said, "You don't know who I am. If I call, the angels will come and destroy the whole, universe." And he was very grounded in his identity, so he could really alchemize his emotions, right? And uh, so that's the reason he came for a purpose, and until his purpose was fulfilled, sort of, Jesus was a human being. He cried, he was angry, he was hungry, and so many things, right? So now, uh, there are so many different emotions we have. Can I ask you guys? I don't really want this to be like a, teaching stuff, but what are the different emotions that you all think that we need to alchemize? Tell me. You can put it in chat box. Disappointment, yes. What else? Fear, yes. What else? What are the emotions that um, we need to alchemize? Come on, come on, guys. Fear, confusion, what else? Uncertainty, yes. Anger, yes. What else? Fear, anger, shame. Can I say that? Shame, guilt, anxiety. What else?
Regret.
Sorry?
Regrets.
Regret, yes. Unhappiness, betrayal, loneliness, regret. Regret, definitely, yeah. Grief, right? Confusion, yeah. Frustration, offense, rejection, envy, comparison, sometimes helplessness, right? There are
Yes.
like at least 10 to 15 different emotions that we need to process, guys. If we don't process it, we are going to be in trouble, because we are going to be potentially going in circles. If we don't pass this test, then it's going to come back again. The same test is going to come back in different, in maybe after a few months, few years, we are going to face the same giant. Okay, so I'm glad some of you could join. Okay, so today, as it's so relevant, I'm going to talk about dealing with loss. Okay, it could be loss in any sense. It could be loss of job, loss of a loved one, loss of happiness, loss of relationship, broken relationship, loss of finances. Okay, is that fine? Give me a thumbs up. I just want to know you all are with me, right? Okay, super. So it is so true, it is so true. I mean, what is the emotion that comes out when we lose something? Can you answer? Come on.
Hopeless, good for nothing feeling depends.
Yeah, good for nothing feeling, shock. Yes, of course, shock. What else?
Disappointment,
Disappointment,
fear,
regret.
sudden fear for future.
Yeah, fear. Yeah. Next time we really don't want to go and get something because we are always like we are thinking, oh, I might lose this one also, right? So when we lose something, then we feel sad, isn't it? We feel sad. Sometimes we feel angry. Sometimes we feel helpless, right? And when it comes to losing your loved one or losing the finances, like somebody has betrayed us, or uh, let's say we lost our loved ones. Now it's a very perfect situation in our case, okay? Entire family is doctor, best of medical facility. Still, I'm still trying to process what is one or two things that we could do better in this case, because all the very qualified people could not, the alleviation of pain was very temporary, right? And in all the best of medicine could not do anything, right? So we feel sad. Sometimes we feel, oh, yeah, I can imagine a doctor, a doctor son looking at the doctor father and seeing him suffering, that the medicine could not do all the best of facility. You couldn't do much to reverse, right? Of course, the we all need to take care of our body in so many different ways. But I'm just only talking about this particular emotions. Sometimes you feel very helpless. I'm sure we're going to talk to our we are going to talk to the kids and enable them to process the emotion very proper way, because if I'm in a IT field and or I'm a coach and I'm unable to get the person out of their trouble or problem, yeah, I feel very helpless. I feel sometimes very angry. When I lost my brother, I was so angry at myself that I couldn't help. I couldn't help save him. I couldn't get him out of, the clutches of the evil one. And why did I do this? Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I shouldn't. So many things goes on in our mind, right? Sometimes we feel helpless. Sometimes we feel sad. Sometimes you feel very angry. Um, but that emotion, what are you going to do? You should know how to process in that thing. Have you done your job? Yes. In this case, we have done our job. Did we pray that our the will should align with God's will? Yes, we did. Did we help the patient that they should not feel the pain, right? At the towards the end of it, they did help the patient, right? So, but now the let's say the finance is gone, it's gone away from you, right? It can't be retrieved, or the loss of a loved one is gone, right? Or a job opportunity is gone, or relationship is broken, that it's beyond repair. So what are you going to do in that case? Okay, you have to accept the reality. You can't escape. So why people go into, is it okay, guys, if I just talk for another 5-10 minutes? Give me a thumbs up. I'm just trying to
Yes.
explain, right? So now, You you can't why people get into addiction because they're looking for a temporary escapism. The body has to survive, life has to move on, but we don't know how to move forward, how to process it correctly, right? So some people start to watch TV, some people start to eat excessive, some people get into addictions of alcohol, drug, and because they don't know how to deal with the trauma. Okay, so many different ways we are trying to move the emotions or the energy, right? So when we have sadness, okay, we have to ask our question, what is this sadness trying to tell me what I valued? Okay, and let's say I'm like we had a prayer one day before the funeral, we had a prayer, and out of the blue I I didn't I mean I was, I thought I was very strong. For about an hour, I cried and cried and cried. And nothing though throughout the prayer meeting, we was crying. So I really valued, I really loved the family, right? So that part, the love, okay, the love that we have for the family is revealed, okay? And second is, okay, you have to release it. Now, sadness is there. I can't keep it inside. People sometimes keep it in their heart. That is not good. Now we have to move it. Okay. What is emotion? Energy in motion. Okay. So you can't be very heavy. So you have to move it, but in the right way. Okay. Maybe you can write a letter. Okay. Letter downloading everything that we have, put it down in a letter. Okay, or maybe you can talk, or maybe you can pray and worship. And if you feel like crying, people say, oh, men should not cry. No, everybody should release the emotions, energy in motion. Let the tears go, write it, or do a journaling, or do a painting, or do something in honor of that person. Okay, or just take a deep breath and release it. Okay, that's secondly. Um, third is like, what are the good things that we can learn from the person? Okay, or if it is you lost your finances, or if um, um, you've done a mistake, okay, and you feel like, oh, maybe the relationship was broken, maybe we all, it's two hands, right? What is it that something that I can do better in my next relationship? Or what is one or two things that I can do in my next financial dealing? Or what is that one or two thing I can learn? Like in my case, my brother-in-law, so many good things. And I know that he never worked for money. He always wanted to serve people. And one of the cardiologists, top guy, came and he said, my brother used to put his hand around a sweeper and talk to him, that he needs to take care of his health. And so he was very humble, down to earth. That really touched me. And I was just recollecting when we got married, we used to call him every now and then without going to our local doctor. Big brother, what should we do for this problem, that problem? Always he would say, Chitra, do this one, always cheerful. And then he will also advise, right? So, what is it that he's very passionate? Everybody said he was very passionate about his job and his purpose was fulfilled. Okay. So, what am I passionate about? Is there anything that I can carry? He was a doctor. He was so friendly. He poured out everything that he had. So, is there anything that I can leverage from that? What is the legacy that I can, if you really honor him, really value him, if you really value your, what what is it that you want to learn from your experience? Okay, note it down and turn your pain into purpose or presence. Okay, turn your emptiness into meaning. Everything has to be alchemized, transformed, okay, for the better, rather than being stuck with that heavy emotions or becoming victimized or becoming angry with self or becoming angry with others or becoming angry with God. Why this is happening to me? Yes, this has happened, but how can you handle it? Right? You can ask that question. Okay. At the same time, now I had a talk with my niece and very long talk. It just the conversation just flowed. She's also a doctor. I said, what can you guys do now in terms of making the end of life experience a bit more better? Or is there any cells like the regeneration you can reverse it? How can you using the technology like artificial intelligence and so many other things? What is one or two things that you can do better through all this experience? I'm not saying that you've given the best, but in terms of systems, in terms of bringing technology in, in practicality, and or is there anything something else you all could do it? Because that is where God has placed you. Or maybe how do you immerse the spirituality and science? Because you know, um, how can you do it? Are there any other things that you can do? Because that's the reason God has placed you, and that's the difference you will make as a believer in your domain of expertise. Okay, each one of you are coming from a different, uh, like Rama is a physiotherapist, and uh, she prays, and then she is led by the spirit. A patient comes for physiotherapy for certain body parts, and then if she is spirit filled and the revelation she gets a prophetic or word of knowledge, then she might do a perfect one so that the person's completely healed, right? So what is it that from your sadness, how can you transform that from your experience, the transform into a service? Okay, so these are the ways. First of all, you have to uh, move your energy in motion. Okay, release it. Okay, anything that is heavy on your heart, like a victimization, sadness, or anger. Okay, you can go and punch, like boxing. You can do some workout. You can release the energy, or breathing, or journaling. Release it and then leverage from your experience. What are the few things, the positive things that you can learn, and turn that into service? Okay, and uh, you can transform your sadness. You can, from my pain, from my emotion, what have I learned, how I can transform that into helping others who are going through a similar situation. Okay, basically this is how a startup is found. If you're a startup founder, what are they looking at? They're just looking at problems around. What is one or two problem, like Swiggy, or be it Uber? All these founders had some problem, they wanted to really solve it, and when they solved it, real genuine problem that's helping the humanity, that's how it became a huge hit. Okay, genuinity to help the humanity. Okay, you really genuinely want to help humanity with something, and that's where how the ideas are born. Okay, and then it goes into a business model. Okay, so in one line, as far as today's topic is concerned, sadness alchemizes when you give it an expression. Okay, what is the meaning? What is that I have leveraged from this? How can I move this sadness into an energy or something that I can help others? Okay, give the emotion that should not be in you. For example, anger, guilt, shame. So many things are we are not supposed to keep it in us, right? So how you can give a new identity for that, that is where everything comes in picture. That's how you alchemize your emotions. Okay, so today is day 2. I feel like it might go for another few days, because there are so many emotions we discussed, like anger, fear, anxiety, all these things we are going to discuss. Okay, but bring your friends and let's discuss. And then today I'm going to put a timer because we are a bit late. I'm going to put a timer for 10 minutes. I want you guys to just set intention that the Father God will reveal to you what is that something. Today we let's ask the Father, what is that one or two sadness in my heart that I'm not aware of it. Okay, bring it to light, shine the light in that area of darkness. Sometimes you have everything, but you sometimes you feel something is missing, some sadness is there, or maybe a sadness that you have not been able to process it so long. Okay, and there will be massive healing because I'm speaking it in faith. Healing will happen today when we do meditation. If you have carried sadness, or maybe a loved one, or you had a loss of finance, or you had a loss of relationship, i want I want to ask the Lord Jesus to come and fill you in that place with his love and take you out of your sadness. Okay, so let me put a timer for 10 minutes. Let's do, just focus, um, observe our thoughts and see if there is anything surfacing, then ask the Lord to, heal. Let's start.